Hello and very good evening everyone. I am Chetna Sharma. I am assistant professor and here I am with another video as I am conducting a lecture of series particularly on Specific Relief Act 1963. Here I am with my second video of the series, but before I am starting with my lecture, or you may say video, I must and I heartily want to thank all of you and all and every one of you who make my first video a huge success. There is 500 plus views and approx 100 likes and subscribers. So thank you very much for making my first video a huge success. And now here I am with my second video. In very first video I just skipped some points from introduction because the video was going very long. That's why there are some points which we have to discuss in this video also about the introduction, and from this section portion we will start from our very next video. Okay, so what I left in my first video was what we are talking about Specific Relief Act. So the first thing we must know that what does that relief means. So relief is basically of two types. The first one is civil relief and the second one is criminal relief. Okay, so Specific Relief Act basically deals with the civil remedy. Okay, the remedy or the relief is basically of two types. The first one is civil and the second one is criminal. So the SRA basically deals with civil rights, and civil rights is, as we all know, given by civil courts through a civil procedure. So the civil remedies, if we are talking about the civil remedies, these civil remedies are also provided by civil courts in generally two ways. The first way is the we may say the possession, alright, the first way, and the second way through which the civil courts provide the civil remedy, that is the compensation. Okay, so this is also termed as specific relief and this is also known as compensatory relief. Okay, so what does that specific relief and what does compensatory relief means? So if we talk about the compensatory means, this is quite understanding by its name itself that anything for which the court is giving you the compensation. So it is a compensatory relief. And what does that specific relief means? A specific relief means where there are basically three conditions which have to be fulfilled for specific relief. Okay, the first thing or you can say the first point is when the there is no we may say standard to ascertain the damages. Okay, there is no standard for ascertaining damages. Okay, there is no standard for ascertaining the damages. The second point is when the pecuniary compensation is not adequate. Okay, where the pecuniary compensation is not adequate is the second point, and the third point is when the pecuniary compensation is not recoverable. Alright, discuss these points in detail. That means no standard for ascertaining damages. These points are very similar to each other. Okay, there is no standard for ascertaining damages. That means the court have no idea or no standard, not specific principle, or we may say there is no guidelines, or there is nothing before the court to ascertain the damages. Okay, so the first thing is that there is no standard for ascertaining the damages, that how much damage has been caused to that person, so there is no particular scale to affix it, or a particular standard to ascertain that how much loss someone suffered or how much damage has been occurred. Okay, so the first thing is that. The second thing is that pecuniary compensation is not adequate. Okay, so where there is the compensation is not adequate. Okay, so how can we relate to it? For example, this is a pen. This is a pen of my grandfather. He gifted it to me and he is not alive. Okay, so the emotional attachment of mine with this pen is valuable and cannot ascertain in the form of money. So, and if someone took it away from me and violates the right or take the possession of this from me, then there is no for example, he sold it or he broke it, so there is a no standard. Okay, so there is, when the pecuniary compensation is not adequate, and on behalf of this he award me, okay, you can take 500 or you can take 5,000 or you can take 50,000 even, but there the thing is valuable, not the pecuniary consideration. So here the pecuniary consideration for this is not adequate because there is an emotional attachment, or we can say feelings attached to that particular thing. So there is a pecuniary consideration is not adequate. And the third one, where the pecuniary consideration is not recoverable. Okay, so the person infringes the right is not in such a status that he can give me that compensation. So this is these points where the compensation doesn't allows. Okay, this remedy doesn't allows. Where no standard for ascertaining damage, so you cannot talk about the compensation. So where the pecuniary compensation is not adequate, you cannot satisfy someone's feeling with that compensation. And where the pecuniary consideration is not recoverable, so here the person is not in such a status that he can give you the compensation awarded by the civil courts. So here the law never puts any obligation to do an impossible act. Okay, this is the you can say the golden rule of the courts, that courts of, or you can say of law, that law never put an obligation to do an impossible act. So here if such person is not in a condition that he can give you compensation on behalf of that particular thing, so court will never award the compensation. Court will go with the possession, that you have to give that thing back, or you have to revert the possession of that particular thing. Okay, so this is all about the remedy, or about the specific relief. Now there are one point we have to discuss, that is the object of SRA. Okay, so this is also an important point to discuss, that what is the object of SRA. Whenever we start studying any act, the first thing which makes us familiar with that particular subject is the object of that act. That why this act has been enacted and what was the intention of legislature behind making that act. So this is also an important point to discuss. So here we will go with the object of SRA. Alright. The object. So I'm not gonna write these object over here because it will make my video so long. So the first object is, as I mentioned you in the history, that there was the initiative of this SRA was taken in the year actually based on the recommendation of ninth report of Law Commission. So the first object of that act to work upon that ninth report of Law Commission. Okay, so that is, I'm writing it in a short. To implement the ninth Law Commission report. Okay, to implement the recommendation given by the Law Commission in its ninth report. Okay, so the first object was that. Now the second object was, as I discussed in my very first video, that there are two types of law. The first is substantive law and the second is procedural law. Substantive law is the law which provides you the rights and remedies, and the procedural law lays down the procedure. So SRA is basically a procedural law with some substantive provisions also. Okay? So the next object is to embody the essence of adjective, that is substantive, as well as of procedural law. Okay? Okay, so to embody the essence of adjective, adjective is also known as the substantive. Okay, so don't get confused with the adjective and the substantive. So the blend of adjective as well as the procedural law. Okay, the second objective was that. The third objective was to repeal the provision of 1877 Act. Okay, which was basically made in England and which made applicable in Indian scenario. So India wants its own law regarding the Specific Relief Act. Although the provisions are so much related to that 1877 Act, but the object of bringing 1963's Act to repeal the provision of 1877 Act. Okay. Okay, and the one of the important object of the SRA is to provide a quick remedy. Okay, to provide a quick remedy. Why this quick remedy? Quick remedy is because if we all know that the civil cases in the civil courts runs from years to years and it takes a long process, but there are certain rights which needs quick redressal of it. Okay, for example, if someone dispossesses you from your house, then you cannot go to, civil procedure court, because it takes years for the final disposal. Okay, so here the SRA provides you a quick remedy. So just this is the one of the important object of SRA for providing the quick remedy. Okay, and the fifth is to repeal the provisions of section 42 of 1877's Act and to bring section 34 of present Act. Okay, so this is the another objective of SRA. These were the intention of the legislature behind making the SRA 1963. And here Bentham quoted a statement, that is, the law ought to assure me everything which is mine without forcing me to equivalence. Okay, that means law is having an obligation to give me everything which is mine. Alright, so this is also a object, or we may say the point or the ground behind the Specific Relief Act 1963. So this is all about the introduction of SRA. From this section portion of SRA, we will start in the very next lecture. So if you like my video and if it is valuable for all of you, I must request just this is all about introduction. So this contains some historical fact or historical things or hypothetical things. But if we when we start with the section portion, I must want everyone who is going through video and who is watching video, please sit with your bare act in one hand and if possible pencil in one hand. Okay, so that when I discussed the provisions of SRA, you may relate to that very efficiently and will get the benefit as far as it is possible for all of you. So from the very next video, we will starting with the section portion. Okay, from the section 1. So I request everyone to please sit with your bare act and with a pencil so that you can understand it easily and in more effective way. Okay, so if you like my video, just like it, subscribe it and share it with all your friends and dear ones. Thank you so much.